Good evening and welcome to NNX from the Northwestern News Network. I'm Sylvie Slotkin.
And I'm Zoe Singer. Let's get into this week's top stories. Parts of campus by Kresge Hall were vandalized early yesterday morning in what President Schill and the university have deemed, quote, anti-Semitic and hate-filled act. The vandalism took place during the commencement of the Jewish holiday of Passover. We have some images that were presumably taken of that vandalism, though NNN has been unable to independently confirm the sources of the images. As you can see, Death to Israel was painted across the signage that normally reads Kresge Centennial Hall. But there were also some other messages, notably Antifada, or what was supposed to say Antifada but was misspelled, was painted on the ground. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, Antifada is an Arabic word meaning rebellion or uprising. It has specifically been used to refer to an armed uprising of Palestinians against Israel in the West Bank and Gaza Strip. The phrase "from the river to the sea" was painted on the doors of Kresge, referring to the land between the Jordan River and the Mediterranean Sea, which contains Israel, the West Bank, and the Gaza Strip. This is a slogan we've heard at pro-Palestinian protests before in calling for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state. You'll also see red triangles painted throughout, which have been used as symbols of resistance at pro-Palestinian protests across the country and have also been used by Hamas to designate military targets. The investigation is still ongoing tonight, but President Schill has said that those involved will face full disciplinary action if identified. We'll have student reactions to the vandalism coming up at 7 on the Northwestern News Report.
Northwestern Jewish students have mixed reactions to the Trump administration, citing campus anti-Semitism as the reason for last week's federal funding freeze. A university report indicates an increase in anti-Semitism last year in the wake of the Israel-Hamas war. Some students believe the funding cut could push over universities to combat anti-Semitism more effectively. Others disagree. Here's what one student had to say.
Across the board, the attack on academic institutions, particularly higher tier academic institutions, has been part of the plan. This is an easy way to scapegoat the situation and say, oh, well, because of this, we're taking away $790 million.
Northwestern reported an 88% drop in anti-Semitism between November 2024 and 2025, according to an updated release 2 weeks ago.
We have several updates since the Trump administration froze $790 million of NU's federal funding last week, in addition to emails from President Schill to the NU community providing updates about the situation and emphasizing that the university learned of the freeze through media outlets. The Daily Northwestern has reported that faculty members received emails advising them to delay staffing changes amid the freeze. These emails also reportedly cited the Trump administration's grant terminations and more than 100 stop work orders on Northwestern's projects.
The Daily Northwestern also reported that the university confirmed that a, quote, limited number of international students at Northwestern had their visas terminated. This comes as hundreds of international students across the nation are seeing their student visas canceled with a new order from the Trump administration. In a statement to Northwestern News Network, the university said that during recent checks of the Student Exchange Visitor Information System database, it, quote, learned that the Department of Homeland Security terminated the SEVIS status of a limited number of current students and former students with continuing ties to our institution. Be sure to stick around for the Northwestern News Report to hear more from NNN's Mila Branson and Gabriella Umberher Medallo break down the latest on these developing stories.
A talk on the Potawatomi land transfer Wednesday continued the conversation around this year's One Book, One Northwestern into the Night Watch. Prairie Band Potawatomi National Tribal Council member Raphael Wawasuk spoke with Northwestern students about his tribe's history and ongoing efforts to reclaim ancestral lands.
We all have a responsibility, to do better and to see things through, and tribal nations, we aren't isolated.
If you missed this event, be on the lookout for the One Book, One Northwestern's continued programming through April.
One of the biggest challenges new student groups face is funding. To fill in gaps, Northwestern's Associated Student Government is offering an opportunity for the new Student Organization Fund through the Student Activities Finance Committee, or SAFC. The amount groups are eligible to receive funding from has doubled to $10,000 per quarter from last year. SAFC Vice President John Sisko says groups can use the funding as an initial investment to support long-term success.
Well, my hope is that it makes it easier for clubs to get off the ground, because when you're founding a new organization, it can be difficult to find the amounts of aid that your organization needs to really function on the level you'd like it to.
New student groups may not receive the full funding they request, but they are still encouraged to apply for ASG funding.
Evanston and nearby cities could lose key public transit routes as a $770 million budget shortfall threatens CTA PACE and Purple Line service. The Regional Transportation Authority says the cuts could slash service by up to 40%, including the Purple Line, which many commuters rely on to connect to the Red Line at Howard. For security guard Ian Branson, that would mean taking a ride share to Howard just to catch the Red Line downtown.
I get off work very late at night, around midnight, and I would much prefer to just stay on the train and come directly here. It feels a lot safer that way.
The cuts could also similarly affect NU student tutors in the books and breakfast program. The state representative and senator will host a transit listening session at Evanston City Hall Monday to hear from community members.
The Northwestern Spanish and Portuguese clubs hosted a workshop Friday where students embraced the spiritual aspects of the bomba dance. Using maracas and drumsticks, they learned about the history and rhythm of the Afro-Puerto Rican genre of dance and how it can benefit spiritual and mental well-being.
We allow folks that are learning to be part of the activation and hands-on experience, and it's like cooking. We were all chefs in there.
For more events like this one, follow at the Spanish Club NU on Instagram.
Under vibrant lights, Fusion Dance Company blew out birthday candles and lit up the stage with its annual spring show, Finally 21. NNN's Annika Sani brings us the highlights.
Fusion Finally 21 celebrated 21 years since Fusion's start in 2003. The show featured hip-hop styles with some contemporary movement.
Like in Fusion, we all have different dance backgrounds, and we're all able to look and see, oh, this person was trained this way, this person has such a unique style of movement, and then you're I want to dance like that.
This year, 46 Fusion dancers performed in 3 shows with guest student groups in each performance.
The show is just a really fun time. It's kind of like a party of some sorts preparing, and it is just really doing what you love with the people you love.
The show contained freestyle dances, grade specific performances, and a full group closing.
Of course, me and Ivan choreographed Squabble Up, which is a piece that we did, which we enjoyed it a lot, and I had a lot of fun.
Friends and family gathered to celebrate months of hard work in the Ryan Family Auditorium. Annika Sani, Northwestern News Network.
If you're feeling inspired after watching those moves from Fusion, be on the lookout for their future open classes. Sylvie, what do you think about joining some of Fusion's classes?
I mean, I would definitely love to participate in a class. Can't say I could see myself in a show. What about you, Zoe?
I think you do great, and I'd love to join you. That's all the time we have for tonight. I'm Zoe Singer.
And I'm Sylvie Slotkin. Be sure to stay tuned for the Northwestern News Report. Have a good night.